I think repression is really interesting because there was a period of my life after I repressed another period of my life where I didn't realize that I'd repressed a period of my life. And so I thought that I remembered all of my life, but I couldn't remember many details from the part of my life that I repressed. And I repressed it for a good reason. Like, it's not a time that I want to remember. And yet, I can't really, I still to this day am uncovering details about it, right? I'm unlocking new memories that obviously happened to me. I'm unlocking pictures and videos of me. It's just kind of surreal to me to look back at that era of myself. But I really see repression as, it's really interesting, no? Because I lived it. It was a period of years. It's a period of years. But I just don't really remember much of it. And every time something does come of it, I see people associated with it. I see things that I did. I get reminded of it. It elicits an emotional reaction from me. Just the time period, just thinking about it, which is really interesting. It's just really deep in my psyche. But I can't explain to you why or how or whatever. I just wonder if everybody has something that they've repressed, and how repression at all, irregardless of what you're repressing, modifies you today. Or also, depending on what you've repressed, right? What does what you've repressed show? And it's scary too, because our subconscious are like the closest thing we'll get to like an innate version of ourselves, right? Like, it's like you control you as much as you do, as much as your genetics and your upbringing do. But also, I don't know, what are you, right? You're made up of your conscious and then all your subconscious layers and whatnot. But at some point, your subconscious layers are still you. At some point, the transition stops being of something you can control, right? Because you only have indirect control over it, or you don't, or it's shaped by your environment. But that thing is kind of the only thing, apart from your genetics, which you don't control, which shape you. And we'll have a conversation about free will at some point. But the raw ideal is just that it's really difficult to repress something and to feel okay. And I hope not everybody's going through that. It's just really weird that our brains do that. I mean, it's not. It makes sense, right? If you have to live or die, I'd rather live and forget a few of my memories. It's just really sad. I feel like I'm losing something that other people have. But you definitely gain it another way. I mean, you get a ton of pity points for one. But alas, I don't really know. Yeah. It's just a really emotional thing for me. And I just, it's not something that comes up very often. I would guess that it's because not a lot of people repress things too much. And I think that's good. That's a good thing for the world, right? Most people feel broken, I think, in this generation, but I think more people feel broken than actually are, right? And then also there's no such thing as broken, that whole thing. But even if you were to make up some definition of broken, some idea, you'd find a lot less people that are broken than the amount of people that think they're broken. And like, I don't know, you've ever learned something and then people look at you, like, by yourself, you learn something by yourself or off YouTube or whatever, like, especially like when you're picking up an instrument by yourself, and you do it, right? And then people come up to you and they're like, wow, like, you're really good for a beginner. And it's just because you worked at it enough to do the thing, right? Like, that thing was really hard. If you're a teacher, you wouldn't start your student there. But since you're a self-studying student and you decided to start there and then you put in the work to do that, you just kind of assume this is the first thing, this is the thing I want to be doing right now, right? When hunter-gatherers learned how to make spears and they screwed them up 50 times, it's not that they said, oh, this should be easier. It's not that they said, oh, you're really good for a beginner, unless they had relativity. They just said, oh, this is the work that it takes to make a spear, right? Like, that's kind of my point. It's all in the mindset, and where you are in terms of your own development, in terms of emotional maturity, is all in your head, right? You got this. And I really believe that everybody has that chance always to get on a different path, because the time that you don't spend doing that, you've invested in something else, and it's fantastic. You have those skills. But it's great to not live in sorrow, to not live in depression, to not live in a place where you will repress the time that you are in now. Live for yourself, live for your future self, live for your past self, but don't live for no one, right? If you're living and you're gonna forget this tomorrow, and your future is gonna not be the happiest that you've done that, and your past wouldn't be proud of you, all of those three things, try to do as much as you can. Goodbye.